Hey, how's it going? I'm Cody J, and if you're new to the channel, I am a filmmaker, director, designer. Also, I do weddings. I'm a videographer, and yeah, I do a lot of things, and I've always kind of been that way. So if you want to stick around and kind of see where the channel is going to go, I'm going to talk about it a lot right now just because it's been so long since I have posted. So let me roll that intro, and then let's talk about it. I'm sure a lot of you experienced kind of the same stuff that I'm going to talk about with your careers and everything with the pandemic and everything that happened. I did try to hold it together and spend that time actually making YouTube videos, but I just could never seem to get there mentally. I just always had this weird thing where I didn't want to be on camera at the moment. I felt like my self-worth was just in the total trash. Because I wasn't really shooting anything, and it's hard. It's hard when your whole life and identity is based off of, this career that you've built for yourself, and then overnight it kind of just stops. I think we only shot like 1 or 2 projects last year, and I'm not even going to talk negatively about them, but they just didn't go the way that I had hoped they did. So, when that happens as well, it kind of just makes you feel like you're not enough, or, you don't have a purpose. So I'll kind of go into more about what happened last year, because it wasn't just only my personal career or anything like that. It was just a lot of things. I even tried to actually get a job at an agency. That did not go the way I had hoped. It just a lot of failure, that's what it felt like. Just a ton of failure. So I think I'm going to gather my thoughts really quick, and then let's list it out, or come up with a way that I can explain it to you guys that makes sense. So now that I kind of sat and gathered my thoughts on that, I came up with a good way to actually explain, how it went. So last year, right before the pandemic hit, I was actually doing probably the best I have done so far, right? I had my first 5-figure budget get booked for a project, and I was just super excited. I was going to do more stuff with Cirque du Soleil, and just everything was going really well. So what we decided to do was kind of split up the brands so that Swoon Creative Collective could be just weddings, because, the word swoon, that's what I associate it with. And then I started another business called Revival Mode. It was just going to be, doing everything that a business would need, like websites, video production, photography, content creation, whatever they need, and that was the vision. And we were in the process of it. So we decided to do some styled shoots in Oregon, and we ended up renting an RV, and we did that for 2 weeks, I think. And the pandemic was literally unfolding as we were driving this RV through Oregon and Washington, and eventually back down through California and Nevada. So, we're out there just kind of hoping for the best, and then everything really did fall apart. And on the way home, we were actually kind of grabbing groceries from stores as we were passing them because places were running out. They were crowded. It was really scary. Kind of felt like we were in The Walking Dead. I actually just make that reference all the time because that's really what it felt like. So, you know, like everyone, you thought it was temporary and you kind of based everything around it being just the 2 weeks, and it was kind of a welcomed break, right? Yeah, well, you know, it's March and we're still in it. And I think that, you know, what ended up happening, lost my like total train of thought. So what ended up happening is when we got home and as we were in the RV coming home, every job that I had booked started canceling or postponing, which, you know, postponing is not the worst thing, but some of them canceled. You know, they were just like, hey, it's not happening anymore. And that really sucked because you were spending money with, you know, the intention of making more money later. And then that is basically being taken away. And you're just like, oh my God. And so everything's going horribly. I'm trying to just book any clients I can. Everyone's saying no, which I don't blame anyone because everyone was just holding on to money. It was really hard. And, you know, now it's coming back a little bit, which is awesome. But at the time, it just, you know, it seemed like this never ending loop of no's and just rejection. So what I did was I had to bite the bullet and look for a job. And the only reason I did that too is because, you know, the PUA unemployment stuff just like was not happening for me. I was calling every day at 8 a.m. Just trying to get, you know, some help because literally couldn't work. And it took until August for me to get that. And I just can't believe we even made it through to that, you know? So with all of that stuff going on, I was just like, you know, I'll get a job and I'll just do that for a few years and like until I get my stuff, you know, built back. So I tried out for an agency. I wasn't a good fit there, which is totally fine in hindsight because it actually pushed me to look at myself further and say, well, what am I doing wrong that's not attracting my, you know, clients still? Like they're working, like some people are still working, but like what did I do specifically or what is going on with my own stuff that, you know, maybe not good enough for that agency? And then later I also applied for a job where you're shooting with iPhones and like editing this footage, and it's just, it wasn't for me. And so even when I got rejected by that, I was like, oh my God, I just no self-worth at all. Right. So I just kind of went into this, just sleep all the time. Like, okay, whatever. Like at least I have unemployment now and I can just, you know, not try and whatever. So that was like a few months where I was in that, and just, I would try to reach out to people and just didn't know how to say it. Cause I wasn't trying to look for like people just to hand me jobs, but like referrals stopped coming and weddings weren't being booked and all that stuff. So I just was, you know, desperate for really anything to kind of feel like I was wanted again. Right. So it went like that for a long time. And then I just realized that like, that's not how you do things. You have to really get up every day and just try to make things work. Don't get discouraged when like things don't go the way you'd hoped. And honestly, I don't blame myself, but that's a lot of wasted time when you just sit there and feel sorry for yourself, right? Like later you're just like, man, I wish I had that time back. But again, don't beat yourself up for it. That's probably just what you needed at the time. So what does this mean for the channel? For the channel, I think it means really good things. I think it means I'm past really giving a shit what anyone thinks and just being there for myself, really. And I think it means finding my own voice rather than being this like, hey, welcome to freaking YouTube, guys. Smash that like button. That's just not me. And I tried to force myself into that box because that's what I saw did well, right? But I just think that from now on, I'm just going to be my like total self. And I hope that you guys just enjoy that because I know I gained a lot of subscribers being somebody else. So hopefully you guys still like the channel. If you don't, you can unsubscribe, and I really, my feelings will not be hurt. You know, I understand. And if you enjoy it, please share it with your friends, you know, subscribe to it. comment on stuff, because it really does help, you know, these videos get seen. And I am making them for myself, but also if it can resonate with anyone and be seen by more people, why not, right? So thank you for watching this video. Hopefully it wasn't too awkward and long. I'm just like getting back into it. So yeah, new videos coming soon. Thanks, guys.